The Arctic Ocean down below looks grey and choppy as if it was frozen mid-swell. We're heading with Russia's Ministry of Defence to Kotelny Island, a closed military zone in the New Siberian island range off Russia's Arctic coastline.
The question is why Russia wants to bring us up here now. First of all, there's an Arctic conference coming up in St. Petersburg, so it wants to showcase what it's got out here. And secondly, to project strength. You don't build 475 military installations in 6 years unless you want people to know about them.
A lot of them are smaller facilities, but our destination is an actual base. Northern Clover, it's called. Windswept, bleak, and combat ready. That's Russia's Panzer S anti-aircraft system, specially modified for Arctic conditions.
Our division is here to keep radar control of airspace and to control the northern sea routes.
Russia wants to defend against any potential plundering of its natural resources, and it hopes to benefit from an increase in commercial shipping as the Arctic warms. But analysts I spoke to in Moscow say the premise is flawed.
This theory is rather far from reality about warming and our treasures, because if warming is true, all infrastructure on all coasts will disappear very quickly.
But for NATO, a militarised Russian Arctic coincides with a more assertive Russia elsewhere. And up against its northern flank are Russia's Arctic-based nuclear assets, including 12 strategic nuclear submarines.
Russia insists that its military build-up in the Arctic is purely defensive in nature. And the Arctic at the moment is still a place of relatively low tension, but it's quite clear that Russia can escalate that as soon as it feels that its interests are threatened.
As NATO and Russia size up each other's capabilities in the high north, the UK is set to announce a new Arctic strategy, which will see annual cold weather training for the Royal Marines with Norway and the introduction of new submarine hunting aircraft. A lot more action than these Russian troops say they expect to see. And who do you consider your greatest enemy up here in the Arctic?
Enemy? The weather. We don't have any other enemies here. We protect ourselves from the weather conditions, and we do our service for the benefit of the state.
All players in the Arctic hope it'll stay that way, but with Russia more than happy to flex its muscles elsewhere, no one is taking chances. Diana Magnay from Kotelny Island in the Russian Arctic.